Grandpa Bart. My grandfather's full name is Robert Leighton Bartow. He was born on September 19, 1925 in Belmar, New Jersey. My grandfather had 7 siblings. His family immigrated from England on the Mayflower. He lived in Belmar and Ocean Grove, New Jersey. He played hide and seek, and he also played hooky from school. In the summer, starting in late April or May, he would go to the beach. It was only 4 blocks away. At the beach, there was surf. My grandfather once took an ironing board and surfed with it. During the Great Depression, my grandfather's dad always had a job. He worked as a meter reader for Jersey Central Power and Light. He retired as a chief meter reader. His dad died in 1979 at the age of 92. During this hard time, his mom would feed the people that came to the door hungry. In 1917 or 18, during World War I, my grandfather's father wanted to join the Army Air Corps. His wife did not want that, so she divorced him. My grandfather's father did not join the Air Corps. It was during that time that he was introduced to his second wife, my grandfather's mother. He continued his job as an electrician and worked in a shipyard in New Jersey. As for my grandfather's life, during his last year of high school, during a lunch hour, he went to the post office wanting to get information about joining the Marine Corps. There were only women there that day, so they told him to come back when he was 18. About 5 months later, on October 29, 1943, in Philadelphia, he raised his hand and swore allegiance and volunteered for the Marine Corps. 11 days later, he was on the train to Paris Island, South Carolina, for boot camp. For my grandfather, it was just fun and games. He got punished all the time for being delinquent, like talking in ranks, moving when he wasn't supposed to, or just fooling around. But my grandfather still made PFC. One time, for chewing gum in rank, he was ordered to rub the gum in his hair. The Korean War did not affect my grandfather very much. He got married during the Korean War. His only connection was flying air evacuation from Japan to the U.S. and transporting people for whatever duties they had. The Vietnam War didn't really affect him, except that it took him away from his family to go to Vietnam for a year. He was flying all the time. He didn't have much contact with the enemies or the natives, although 3 times he had bullet holes in his wings after returning from his flight. A funny thing my grandfather remembers is being at the dinner table and his grandmother passed away. She started laughing and everyone else started laughing. She passed even more wind the more she laughed. What is also interesting is that my grandfather didn't talk with his grandfather, although he lived in the same house as him. And he talked very little with his own father. They called it the Victorian age. But he knew that his father loved him and was proud of him, and that's all that mattered. A particular thing my grandfather wants to see passed down is to be kind and love your neighbor as yourself. My grandfather is also very wise. He wants me to always be open-minded. He also wants me to think of others before myself. He is an amazing grandfather. Thank you.